Hello gin lovers and welcome back to No Nonsense Gin Reviews with me, Bobby Freeman. Now then, we have a very special gin for you today because this, my friends, is none other than Brockmans Gin. That's right. Now, this rather sort of dark, sort of fairly subtle bottle belies the wonderful, magical essence of this very special gin because this is really... It's a real standalone gin, if I'm absolutely honest. I went into my gin shop the other day, which is Hedonism and Wines, by the way, in London. Very, very good. It's got all sorts, every drink you could possibly imagine. And I said to the guy, I said to my gin man, I don't even know his name, he's just called him the Gin Man. It's like a really tragic superhero. Just flies around drunk everywhere. I said to my gin man, I said, right, I want something different. What have you got? And straight away, he went, Brockmans. Okay, I said, what is that? So he said to me, right, this is how he described it, okay? He said, it tastes like, I'm not making this up, this is what he said, it tastes like Skittles. And I'm not talking like the medieval like bowling game that we play in England in some sort of, in some of the boroughs of England. I'm talking about the candy, as in Skittles, the sweets, you know, the sort of red packeted rainbow thing, taste the rainbow and all that. So I thought to myself, what, this sounds mental. So I thought, I've got to try some of that. And I have to say, I have tried this one already. I have to admit, I haven't. I like to sort of try these gins first of all on video for you, but I just had to. I couldn't wait. It just sounded so amazing. So let me give you a little bit of literature from the website first of all. So Brockmans is like no other gin. That's pretty much, they could just write just that on the website because that's absolutely bang on. It's very individual. If you were doing a blind test, if you had a load of gins lined up, I guarantee you could spot this one every single. Well, you couldn't spot it, but you could taste. You pick it out after tasting it. For gin enthusiasts, it's a revolution. For gin novices, it's about discovering an unexpected and individual taste. Again, absolutely bang on. It stands proudly alone from the many other types of gin due to the unique recipe of exquisite botanicals and the patent steeping distillation process. Okay. Where the more traditional notes of gin are combined with a refreshing influence of citrus and aromatic wild berries and blueberries. Aha, okay, so he says Skittles, but realistically, I think it's these blackberries and blueberries that gives it that really fruity taste. I think it's quite a brave way of describing it, saying Skittles, but it's, you know, it's kind of fun anyway. But I think the more accurate way to be describing it is very, very strong blueberries and berries. But anyway, this creates an intensely smooth taste that is sensual and daringly different. I think that's the perfect way to describe this gin. Daringly different. This gin's got balls, you know. I think a lot of gin companies might have made something like this that tastes like this and perhaps gone, oh, I think that's a bit too much, let's bring it back a bit. But they've had, you know, the courage to go with it, and I like that, and stand by their convictions. That's cool, I like that. Top work, Brockmans. The unrivaled taste of this beautifully made gin can be enjoyed simply neat over ice. It is neat over ice? Really? Maybe we should try that. Okay, we might try that in a minute. It's refreshingly different when served with a tonic or ginger ale. Fair enough, right. For the mixologists among us, it opens up the whole new world of taste and experience when mixed in gin cocktails. Right, well, we don't need to do any more reading about that because this is promising so much. Let me just get a little bit of whiff of the old furniture. Oh, God, bloody hell. Whoa, this is what I mean. I mean, I've sniffed it before, but it's kind of... It gets you every time. It really shocks you every time. It's blimey. You could put 100 gins out there, and even by sniffing them, you could find the Brockmans every time. I guarantee you. It's so fruity and, like I say, like a burst of berries. It reminds me a bit of the kind of what's the berry ones, like that Greenhall's wild berry one, but way better than that in a different league. And daringly different. Tell me about it. Let's get some in the glass, shall we? Let's put a bit. I'll tell you what, I'm going to try some with neat over ice in a minute as well, because that sounds very interesting. I didn't know. I've never done that. Well, I've never done that with a gin before, because I don't think it's very good to drink neat gin. It's not very pleasant. Let's put a bit of tonic in there. There we go. Let's try that. Oh, bloody hell! This aroma. It's like a sort of a. This sounds weird. It's like a very soft, fruity, pleasant punch in the face, but a nice one. That's a bit of a weird analogy, but I am the home of weird analogies, as you know. So let's not dwell on that too long. Let's get it in the mouth, shall we? Okay, here we go. Oh my lord above. It's almost not even gin. It's like, whoa. It's really hard to describe. It's like a swirling whirlwind of berries and fruits and kind of just juicy flavours in there. It's like a dark sort of stormy fruit salad just sort of whizzed up in your mouth and just sort of and it just sort of the aromas that seem to sort of just kind of really strong sort of sense of evaporation of all that right up through the sinuses, and of course there's so much going on in there. It's literally like you've walked into a party and there's everything going. There's circus acts, there's fire blowers, there's everything. It's like a circus. It's like a circus in a glass. It's really, really, it's bordering on what I call a novelty gin, really, because it's such strong flavours. I mean, it's always going into a different era. I'm just going to try that. Let me get some ice. Hang on a second. Right, here we go. Right, ice, new glass. Okay, right. Let's try it neat over ice, see what this is like, because I'm quite intrigued by this. I always say to drink neat gin is a little bit, I don't know why anyone would do it, it's unpleasant, but let's get a couple of ice cubes in here, shall we? There we go, chuck those over there. Oop, geez, there goes the butter dish. Right, neat over ice. This is a first for No Nonsense Gin Reviews. I'm going to be drinking neat gin. Let's swirl that round a bit, make sure it's nice and cold. I'm not sure about this. I'm very sceptical, if I'm absolutely honest. But I like to try new things and push boundaries forward on this show. So here we go. Here we go. Oh, God. Ah! Oh, Jesus! That's rubbish. As I've always said, gin. Oh, God. Gin should not be enjoyed neat. Whew. Oh, it burns! It burns! It burns! That's right. Okay, that's very interesting of them to put that on there, but I think that's a step too far. By all means, feel free to try it, but that's not how you enjoy gin. That's not how I enjoy gin. Anyway, there's nothing enjoyable about that. Stick to the tonic. Always fevertree, as I always say. Oh, good lord! Well, yeah, give it a go. See what you think. But that's pretty harsh. So to sum up. That's kind of knocked me sideways a bit. There we go. Oh, God. It is a different animal. To be honest, actually, they say you have it neat over ice. But what I got was all those flavours, that massive sort of, huge flavour jamboree that I was talking about. You actually don't get them when you have it neat. It's just like a real harsh gin sort of shock. And you lose all those flavours. I disagree with them there. I like their ethos and everything, but I disagree with that. I think that's silly to recommend that. I always say tonic brings out flavours that weren't there before. And definitely, if you want to sort of test that theory, by all means, try some neat gin. Because I just got this harsh sort of wham bam. I didn't get any of the flavours or anything, but that is gorgeous. Well, it's gorgeous. It is very, very nice. However, would I reach for it very often when I fancy a gin and tonic? If I come home, it's been a long day, I fancy a gin and tonic, would I reach for Brockmans? Not all the time. Not all the time. I would have to be, but occasionally when you're in the right mood and you've been drinking a lot of standard gin recently, it's very, very comforting to know that you've got a Brockmans on the shelf. Pardon me. I think everyone should have a Brockmans in their life, is my top advice, because you never know when you're in a slightly odd mood or you've got people around for dinner and they say, oh, we got something different. You go, oh, I think I have. Try a bit of the old Brockmans. So, my advice is, get some of this. It's around... it hovers between £25 and £30. Try, and as you know, £30 is my top bracket. Try and get it for less than that, I would say. You don't need to pay any more than 30. Sure, if you pay any more than 30, tell them to sod off. But my recommendation is definitely get some, because this is an extremely exciting and probably one of the most unique gins I've ever reviewed. I'm so glad I've reviewed it, and thank you very much, Brockmans, for being so daring and putting this stuff out there. So, I say to you, Brockmans, keep up the good work. That is Brockmans Gin. I am Bobby Freeman, and this is No Nonsense Gin Reviews, and I will see you next time. Oh, I'm quite drunk.